As we explore more laws, the world of maths continues to grow. It's quite like real life, don't you think? All laws make sure we treat everyone equally. Even maths cares about equality. That's why we have laws for it. An equality is just another name for an equation, which are expressions that contain an equal sign. Some of these laws of their own are very intuitive. In fact, you'll be wondering why we're talking about such obvious things at all, like the reflexive property. It says that a number will always equal itself, given that it's real. Like 2 will always equal 2, never 4 or negative 5 million. Pretty obvious, right? Check out the symmetric property. It says if you have an equal sign between two variables, then both are equal irrespective of what side they are on. It applies to any pair of real numbers, say A and B. So, if A equals B, it implies that B equals A. That's what this sign says. The next law is the transitive property. It says that given three real numbers, if A equals B and B equals C, then A must equal C as well. Makes sense? For further clarity, let's ditch the alphabet and use a real example. Suppose we have three people who own books. Yes, people still read books, and hopefully you do too. If Sana has the same number of books as Bilal, and Bilal has the same number of books as Madiha, then it's safe to say that Sana and Madiha also have the same number of books. This is the transitive property. Next up, let's look at the additive property, which says that if two expressions are equal, adding the same number to both will maintain equality. Sounds confusing. Assume three real numbers A, B and C, and let's say that A is equal to B initially. Now, if you add C on both sides of this equation, it will still be equal to each other. Let's use some numbers here. Suppose this true equation. If we add 3 to both sides, what happens? The equality still holds true as expected. The same would have happened if we were subtracting it. This is called the cancellation property with respect to addition. According to it, if the sum of A and C equals the sum of B and C, then subtracting C from both sides keeps them equal. Just like if we take 3 back from both sides by subtraction, we get 5 equals 5 again. Seems familiar, doesn't it? Something else that may feel that way is the multiplicative property. Assuming again, A equals B, multiplying both the sides by C keeps them equal, even if you switch the order of C. So, if you had x equal 4, multiplying by 2 on both sides still keeps them equal. Now, let's wrap it up with the cancellation property with respect to multiplication. If the product of A and C equals the product of B and C, then dividing both sides by C maintains equality, making sure that C doesn't equal 0. Otherwise, the result would be what? That's right, undefined. However, what happens when the expressions on either side don't equal each other? We get an inequality. Is that a problem for us? Or do we have some laws to manage it? Let's find out in our next lesson.